let the lemon head into the room? You are a waste of life, and you should give up. I enjoy having breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself.
That's awesome.
You know, I haven't streamed in so long. The last time I did it, it was just rough. But in general, I'm still very rusty. But otherwise, well, what is up, everybody? My name is the Austinator. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be doing a review series. Yes, I know that Shadow Eye, I have a couple of review series that we're doing, but this is going to be separate on itself. We are going to be reviewing the DC animated movie universe, not the one-off movies, but the movies that are connected with each other, from Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, the movie we're going to be talking about tonight, and to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. It's going to be a ton of movies over the next few weeks, but it's going to be a massive event. A little bit of backstory on why I'm doing these reviews. So Dylan over here next to me,
aka Anime Talk.
Say hello, Dylan.
Hello.
He is a new DC fan, and when I mean new, I mean he is completely green, because when we met him, he was not a massive DC fan. He didn't like Superman. He didn't really like DC characters all that much, so it was really tasked to me and Ninjoid to do the DC film review, or, well, show him the DC movies. Ninjoid failed massively. I mean, when you show him Man of Steel and those types of films, and Dylan was not a fan of them.
Oh, I despise them. In fact, they only confirm my despise. They only confirm my hatred for them, if anything else.
That's alright, Ninjoid. Shit happens. So then I said, you know what, I'm going to be showing the animated movies, and lo and behold, because of these animated movies, Dylan has became a fan of DC.
Yep.
At least I hope. You know, I
legit actually have become a fan of DC. It actually amazes me, because I used to, and I'm gonna be honest, I used to even hate Batman as a character. Ninjoid got me into watching the old Batman movies, and I have to say that I actually really enjoyed Batman as a Iron Man character. Now, he's never gonna be Iron Man for me. I don't think DC is ever gonna beat my love for the original Iron Man, Spider-Man, you know, because I'm a Marvel guy. But I am very impressed with the DC universe that I have become now, starting to come to know, thanks to the Austinator, especially. Ninjoid too. Ninjoid did show me the old Batman films, and I have to admit, they're pretty good.
I think on our journey of watching these movies, we watched, I think, over 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And just so that way I could get Dylan comfortable enough to talk about these
with some of these characters, yeah.
With these movies, and I managed to make him a fan. Well, not necessarily a fan, but he can tolerate Superman now. Which
I can tolerate Superman. Like before, okay, I hated Batman, right? My hatred for Batman was nothing compared to my despise of the character of Superman. I despise anything Superman related for years. Until Austin showed me a couple Superman movies that finally he's not my favorite character. He never will be, but I can tolerate him when he shows on screen.
Yeah, so it won't ruin the movie for him.
Hmm.
So that's like that's the backstory of what Dylan has gone through, the journey, of course, of like where we were like a few couple months ago to now, and now we're starting up this review series. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I went on way too long of a tangent on that, so I'm gonna let everybody go around
It's
the
fine.
panel, tell everybody where they can find themselves at before we get into the meat and potatoes of the stream, which is the actual review. So I'm gonna start to the person on my right, Dylan. Where can they find you at?
Okay, so on my old channel known as Dylan Still Hobbies, and I might make a couple more Batman videos on that channel as well, or DC movie reviews on that channel as well. But basically, that channel, I'm afraid, is dead. You guys can go still check out. You really should go check out some of my reviews for the Batman movies, as well as the reviews me and Austin were doing for the one-off DC films. There's a couple more one-off DC films that I would like to review with my buddy Austin that I will probably do on that channel, but for the most part, I'm not doing much on that channel anymore. That channel is basically dead. I will have an update video about what that channel is going to be turned into soon enough. But you guys can really check me out on my brand new channel, Anime Talk, which is basically going to be an anime podcast, me just gathering up a couple of friends and talking about the best of the best, which is that come from anime. So I hope you guys, if you're interested in anime, I hope you guys come over, click subscribe, and come hang out with us. I'm gonna try my best to get Star Wars Network down here into not only Naruto but Mob Psycho, so they can be on as well. Should be a fun time. Hopefully hopefully we get there. Hopefully we get there, Ninjoid. But with that said, you guys can also find me on the Austinator channel. You guys can find me on Tim's channel, and I am in fact, I'm not on Ninjoid's channel, but I am indeed his top moderator. So you guys can all check me out there as well.
Good deal. Good deal. Nindroid, where can they find you at?
All right, you guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Star Wars Network. We're over there. We're gonna start daily uploads with tomorrow's video, which I'm not gonna spoil right now what tomorrow's video is about. But guys, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and also the notification button for all videos on that channel, as well as you guys can personally find me on there where we do have Galactic Chat on every single Thursday. This is gonna be the first one this Thursday, which we just got done planning everything out. So that's some good stuff. And let's just say that get hyped. You know, we do have quite a bit of good, awesome news to discuss. And also, you can find me there, as well as the Bad Batch Roundtable on Chaos Central, hosted by Chris Knight in memory of JJ. So, guys, go check out that. As well as you can also find me sometimes on the Hangout on Guy Scar's channel and more. You can always find me on here with Austin for these reviews. And yeah, guys, just go check out all of us. So, yeah.
Good
Thank you,
deal.
Austin.
No problem. It's always a pleasure having you on. And then last but certainly not least, we have Zach Gaxiola. Zach, tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can find me on my channel, Zach Gaxiola, where next week on the 14th, I will be starting a live review series of the Scream franchise, which I hope to be joined with Austin and possibly Dylan. I plan on hoping to get
If
him
you
in.
show me the movie, I will review it to you.
Awesome. So yeah, I'll be doing that every other 2 weeks or so, leading up to the release of Scream 6 in March. And that's about all I got going on, so get hype.
Alrighty, good shit, good shit. Now, I'm not gonna tell my stuff till the very end. So we are just going to get right into it. We're going to be talking, of course, in the title, Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox. This is the first official movie in this DC animated movie universe. You could also kind of consider it as a one-off, but this movie, you kind of see how this new universe gets created at the end, especially in the post-credit scene, which we'll probably talk about. I'll just give the basic premise of the movie. So, someone has screwed up with time, and it creates a new alternate universe from the mainline DC universe that we know, causing so many changes, and the Flash has to find a way to stop the Atlantean Amazon war that was caused because of this disruption in time, as well as, well, just fix time overall. So that's really the basic plot of the movie, and we are going to go into our overall thoughts. And I'm going to let Dylan start with this, since you are new to this. Dylan, give us your overall thoughts.
Okay, so again, I am just brand new to the DC universe, including this new DC universe. So I'm not gonna get all the names right. I'm not gonna get all the characters right, but I can tell you this: I am happily surprised at how great a start of the movie was. In my opinion, I really did enjoy Flash as a character, which is something really interesting because, again, I have seen the DC live action movies, and I am not a fan of that universe, believe me. I did not necessarily like Flash as a character in those movies. I found him a very annoying character, but that's in the live action version. And this, I must say, he's actually a really good character. It's hilarious that he's a reporter. It's like, why is it with superheroes and every superhero being a reporter? I found that funny, but he was a really interesting character. He goes through a really great arc of dealing with his mother's death, and we get to see his backstory. You get to see how his mother died. I found how he got his powers back again. Really interesting because, again, this is my first time ever really being introduced to the character Flash. Now I know of the Flash character by name, but I never knew how he got his powers. I never knew the background of him, or the background of how his powers work, or anything like that. I was actually really surprised that he was able to make like a speed blast, I'm gonna call it. I don't know what else to call it, but that was an unusual power that I did not think he had. Really cool. I liked that. I also really liked of course, I've become much more of a Batman fan. I have to admit that. And what this movie does, I'm not gonna necessarily spoil it just yet, but what this movie does in terms of the Batman character wasn't 100% necessary. No, but the twist that they did with Batman really surprised me, and at the end, it really gives a wholesome moment that it makes me connect to both Flash and Batman as characters in this movie. And I like the fact that every single character in this movie really plays a
Now,
role. I mean, Wonder Woman,
um,
everybody.
Dylan, do you want to wait to save some of this stuff for your positives?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to save the rest for positives, but my overall thoughts, this is a fantastic movie.
Alrighty, good deal. Nindroid, overall thoughts.
This is an awesome movie. That's all I have to say.
Alright, shit, fair enough. We got Kavari in the chat. What's up, Kavari?
Kavari.
Zach, overall thoughts.
I thought this was an awesome start to this DC animated universe. I thought the attempts at characterization worked very well. The animation was solid, and I really liked the action. And I will get into deeper thoughts and the positives and stuff.
Alrighty, good stuff. I'm basically gonna say what everyone else said. I think this movie is fantastic. There's a reason why this is my second favorite DC animated movie of all time. because I love the concepts, I like the characters, the action was great, the story was so good, the animation looked good. It just everything fit together really nicely. Like if one thing failed, this movie might have fell apart, but the story and the narrative was so tight together, it just works. Like I'll go into more detail what I liked in my positives and even my negatives, but as a whole, this movie is like a French kiss. Perfect. All right. So now it is time for our second thing, which is positives, which I'm actually going to let Nindroid start. What are your overall positives with the movie?
Okay, so my positives are actually what Dylan said. Surprisingly enough, for his general thoughts, because you're talking to someone who actually started the CW show very late, but I did watch this first. So this was like my introduction to Flash's character back in the day. This came out in 2013, right, Austin?
I believe so, yes.
So yeah, this was definitely the introduction. So this is how I learned about Flash's origins because I never was a huge fan of him in the comics. I always thought he was just, oh, there's Flash. He's just the fastest man there is. But no, he does have a lot of in depth with his whole father and mother situation, which I love how they adapted the comic book storyline very well into this, as well as I loved how they dealt with other characters as well, like Batman. The music was phenomenal, in my opinion. I'm legit looking at my notes right now. You know, it is easily hands down though, 100%. Like, I'll say top 5 favorite movies of this universe. You know, um, honestly, I really liked what they did with the characters. That was my biggest thing, you know. Um, especially Flash because this was my introduction to him. Also, I like that I liked Professor Zoom. Yeah, I liked a lot of it. Honestly, so yeah, guess like that's my positives, Austin.
Oh, all right, yeah. Very good, very good. Zach, positives.
My biggest positive right off the bat is that despite being animated, they were able to tell a dark, deep, focused, and coherent story despite the short runtime. And the act the characters had a lot of layers. There's a really nice twist towards the end of the film, which are we going spoilers now or should I wait?
No, we'll go spoilers. It's like 10 years old, so we
Yeah,
don't
like
we don't have to be like just do not spoil the other movies in this universe. You can spoil the movie we just watched.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the idea of how the Flash was technically his own villain because he went back and did all this. I liked that. It made for a nice arc. I thought it was a really nice way to tell the storyline, and yeah, that's my biggest positive is the storytelling.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, I mentioned the animation earlier, and oh, you know what? The way Barry's mother died, I feel like the emotional weight there was handled well too.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, not much else to say other than yeah, I really have huge praise for the storytelling.
All right, good deal. I'll go next. Um, I really like the whole concept of every choice you make has a consequence, and I like the message of this movie where it doesn't matter if you're a hero or a villain or you're just a normal person, but ultimately your choices have consequences, and when you're messing with time, that of course is going to lead to disaster no matter what, because no matter how people may want to spin it, but things happen for a reason. And if you mess, like, for example, if you were to go back in time and step on a bug, that could cause literally the whole change in history. And saving somebody from death could cause a major problem in the time stream, and it could change, like, even like the smallest thing could change reality in an instant. Like, for example, in this movie, because of what the Flash did with saving his mom, like, he ends up causing, Bruce Wayne to die instead of his parents. And, of course, Thomas becoming Batman and Martha becoming Joker, which that was a huge twist. Like, this is actually my
That was a
introduction.
great twist.
It really was. And, Superman ends up, causing Metropolis to be destroyed in a huge crater, and he ends up getting captured by the government. And because of what the Flash did, it causes an entire war between Atlantis and Themyscira. Like, time travel has consequences, and I agree. The twist at the end of revealing that not only was Flash the villain, realistically, but I like the whole twist of Thawne wasn't the one to do it, but it was Barry. Like, Barry was the one to do it. And I love that whole, that entire final, confrontation between him and Thawne, where Thawne's kicking his ass, and Thawne literally tells him, I'm not the one that caused all this. You did. But yeah, I'm the villain here. You caused everything like this to happen. And yeah, I could stop it, but I would rather see you fail and fall, and I want you to die knowing what you did. And I thought that was perfect. And I know, Dylan, that one of your negatives was that Thawne wasn't in the movie that much.
It's not that big of a negative, though. To be honest with you, it fits the story so well.
I just don't think Thawne really, I'm actually okay with not seeing Thawne that much, because he's not really the focus of the story. It's mainly about Barry and what he caused. In terms of the time disruption, and hell, even Cyborg's working with the government, and you see all these metahumans going up in this Atlantean Amazon war, which I have to say that's another positive, is that whole war aspect. I thought that was going to take away from the movie, but honestly, it was perfectly well done. I think because
it was well executed, it felt even, and didn't feel like they were paying too much attention to it. It was really good. They timed it really well.
The right amount of attention they gave to it, and just the action in general. And they make both the Amazons with Wonder Woman and Aquaman with the Atlanteans very threatening and scary. Like, you see, even Barry says, there's a universe, in his universe, they wouldn't hurt a fly. Meanwhile, in, this new alternate timeline, Wonder Woman kills Steve Trevor. Did you actually notice that, Dylan? He
killed her. I mean, oh my god. She killed him, and then she goes after... They have a brilliant fight with Aquaman and Wonder Woman at the end of the film. They really do, and it's brutal. It's brutal. It's an epic fight, but it's brutal.
Oh, it's incredible. And even Aquaman, he literally kills both Deathstroke and Lex Luthor, who are working with, we're working with the government to with the human side to stop this war before it ends the world, basically.
Yeah.
And you see characters like Hal Jordan and Shazam, they all have their own little parts to play, which it's really cool seeing the more war aspect of the strategy and just how they go about doing things in a world where they have to fight against these metahumans, which they're not really well equipped to face. Well, I guess they are well equipped, but it's too little too late. And revealing that Captain Atom was the guy who basically is the weapon, which you see earlier in Flashpoint, which you see earlier on in the beginning of the movie in the Flash Museum. But to reveal that not only was he the ultimate weapon, because his unstable nature ends up causing this huge massive explosion that kills everybody. at least until the Flash ends up preventing this from ever happening. It works. I think the entire war aspect works. I think Aquaman and Wonder Woman look scary. And I will say the biggest highlight of the movie for me was Thomas Wayne as Batman. And
That is my number one thing.
And their personalities are completely different. Like I agree with Dylan. Like they could have made Thomas Wayne's Batman just Batman, but a bit more like broodier. Like he's just like, oh, I'm Batman, and like he's exactly the same. But they had him go and he's using guns, he's killing people. Like
they're using his dad instead of him.
And I will say the design for Thomas Wayne looks great. Like I like that every design feels completely different. Like it doesn't feel
And
like
darker.
oh you're watching the same like character model and like they all look the same no matter what. Like they all look different compared to what they look like in the main timeline.
They all look a little bit more intimidating, except for Superman, which makes sense because of what they did to Superman.
Yeah, and the deaths in this movie too are very dark. Like, you know,
They don't pull punches, that's for sure.
Cyborg gets ripped apart by freaking Aquaman. I mean, you have Wonder Woman kill like Shazam. Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, again, in the main timeline, Wonder Woman wouldn't do that, but in this new Flashpoint timeline, she literally kills a kid. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I was really surprised she killed a kid.
The ending with where Bruce gets the letter from Flash, I thought that was a really nice way to end it because, again, they could have ended it with, you know, Barry kissing Iris at the end and, you know, the stereotypical, oh, the hero wins, so you get to kiss the girl. But even in a realistic standpoint, does the Flash really win in this movie? Not really.
No.
Like, but again,
he still loses his mother.
He does. And realistically, it just comes down to when you're a hero, you have to make shitty decisions. Like, even if it means you have to kill somebody to do it, sometimes you can't be selfish. And this is why. Because a hero can be selfish, but it'll lead to really bad consequences in the end.
Oh my god, Kavari.
It was just it's really like it's kind of both it's depressing, but at the same time you get it. Like, but it's not like Barry. It's like he doesn't win, but he doesn't lose type of thing. Like it sucks, but Barry understands at the end of the movie that his mother's death was always going to happen no matter what. And realistically, it might suck, but it was just he was probably better off for it. And of course, the ending where Bruce gets the letter from his father and like him tearing up, it was like a whoa moment. Like, because like in any of these like real things, you don't really see Batman cry except for when his parents die. So Batman to get like some sort of closure and like maybe getting to like just knowing that his like dad is out there in an alternate timeline and he knows. I thought that was actually really nice. And of course, the first like action scene in the Flash Museum and really just the beginning of the movie, I thought was perfect because it showcases like Barry's trauma from losing his mom, the fighting in the Flash Museum, which is, you know, pretty. It's a pretty simple start to like any of these movies where, you know, the superhero team fights the villains, the superhero team wins, and then something happens which causes the main movie to happen. So you get to the whole where Reverse Flash, you know, basically gets into his head with the whole, well, you know, Barry, you could have saved your mom. Like, you can't save everybody. And, like, Batman even is like, he's just trying to get under your skin. But then Barry's like, yeah, like he's shrugging it off. But in reality, it kind of hurts him a little bit. And that maybe is like, I think my other real positive too was I liked the relationship between Thomas Wayne and Barry in this movie. I think they kind of had like they weren't like friends, but like they got along. And I found it really funny that while Barry's getting electrocuted in the chair trying to get his powers back, he Thomas just drinks his whiskey casually. Like, he had to have seen some shit in order for him to just be like, oh, yep, this is normal.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
And even like the little thing where Thawne was like drinking his coffee, like he's like, "Hello, Barry," and he's like stirring his coffee cup, and then Barry's like, "Thawne, I'm gonna beat you," and then Thawne's like, just let me drink my coffee first. That was really fun. I would say my last positive, because I basically went through the entire movie pretty much.
Yeah.
I really liked that they adapted this entire story like pretty much spot on. Like, it was 100% accurate. Everything that happens, from Barry changing time to Thomas, shooting Thawne, like, it all happens. And Barry kind of saving his mom, or no, not saving his mom, but like having to let her go and let her die is such an emotional, like, sad moment that it's just it's heartbreaking. It's a tragic ending, but it's still very hopeful. And because of what he does, because of Flashpoint, he ends up creating this entire new timeline, or it creates an entire new universe, where we don't really see them interact with each other. Now, is it the same Barry from the previous from this movie? No, like, it's a new universe, but you see how this universe gets created because of Flashpoint. And I think the after credits does a good job at telling like what the next movie is going to be, at least for me, because I know like what's going to happen. But it's I feel like this entire movie works. I think it's a good setup movie. Yeah, that goes into my positives. Dylan, I don't know
All
how you
right,
feel about
so
that. So
I actually have a couple of other positives that you did not talk about, but yeah, just to reiterate just a couple of things of what the panel has already said. Thomas Wayne, Batman's dad, was like a really big highlight of the movie. Like I said, they didn't need to do Thomas Wayne. It could have been Bruce. It could have been just a grittier version of Bruce Banner. I actually liked the twist that it was Thomas Wayne, and the fact that he actually does kill people in this movie is pretty nuts, because Batman doesn't kill. And the little moment at the end with Barry giving him the message from his dad was just really touching. And because I've become such a Batman fan now, it really kind of meant a lot for the character. So I really liked that. I really liked how they added that, and made me feel a little bit more for the friendship between the main characters, especially between at least Batman and Barry, aka the Flash. Now, again, the whole thing, just like everyone was talking about here, the whole relationship that he has with his mom, her dying, how he is actually the villain behind all of this because it's his fault. I found that really interesting. I really liked everything they just about did in this movie. I liked the twist on Superman. I liked the twist on Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and just to have the humans be caught in the middle with Cyborg and everyone else just fine. That was fantastic. Another thing that I really like is just, so this is just me, right? I'm brand new to DC. I want to reiterate that, brand new to DC here. So I always hear, oh, the DC, people make fun of Marvel because it's so jokey and they can't get into it. And people say, oh, the DC, it's so dark and gritty and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, that's kind of why I couldn't get into it, because I thought DC was nothing but dark and gritty, and I'm not really interested in. I like dark and gritty, but like, for me, one of the biggest things is humor, right? And don't get me wrong, if you have too much humor, I don't like that either. And too much humor, and I'm out. But if you don't have enough humor, I'm out as well. And if you don't have the right humor, I'm out as well. I mean, well, when it comes to humor, for me, the humor should make you not take the humor shouldn't take away from the scene or the moment, but it should make you at least relax a little, because something that I really believe in is, if you can't laugh in your darkest moments, then you'll never be able to laugh again. So I really did enjoy the humor within this movie. I really did like that, and I'm actually really surprised by that, because it really reminds me Star Wars humor, like Episode 4, Episode 5 type of humor, which yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that in this film. Let's see what else. I liked the animation. I really liked the story. Um, I liked his powers. The Speed Force. That was really cool. The villain. I liked the villain. He wasn't the best villain ever, but I feel like he didn't need to be in this movie. The story made sense. Yeah, I liked everything. That's all my positives.
All right, good deal, good deal. I'm gonna get everybody in the chat. Whereas I'll tell you guys, Ezra Miller didn't do anything wrong. It was evil Ezra from a different multiverse. Ay, ay,
Oh
ay.
God.
It was me. Oh God, that meme is so good. Where Thorn's just like, it was me, Barry. I was the one that did this to you. He's such a petty man. Tara Strong fan, welcome. I'm more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan as well. Okay. The
Good.
ending of the Flashpoint paradox was pretty satisfying with Bruce Wayne's dad sending him a letter. Yeah, it really was a very satisfying.
Well. I'm something of a Tara Strong fan myself too.
Mhm.
But then again, I
Indeed.
have been for years.
Indeed.
Yeah. So have I.
Everyone loves Tara Strong.
Mhm.
Now let's get into our negatives if we have any, and I'm going to actually start with Zach on this one. Do you have any negatives?
Nothing big. If anything, the only real thing I have to talk about is kind of small, and it's the runtime. I don't like that all of these movies are just under an hour and a half. They should be longer, just because they're action movies.
Really, just for me, and I want to just talk about that point is yeah it felt like an hour and a half. Like it didn't feel like it was too fast. It didn't feel like it was too slow. It was well paced. It was well designed, and I felt like while yeah you could possibly go longer, it didn't have to go longer. So I actually quite enjoyed the runtime. I thought it was perfect for the film, but that's just me. Just wanted to go on that. Go on with your
Yeah,
negative.
but that's just about it for me. Other than that, I really dug this movie.
Alrighty, good deal, good deal. I really only have one negative, and that is the start of the Atlantean Amazon War. I think the whole thing of it, of Arthur cheating on Mara with Diana, and then like Diana kills Mara. I feel like there maybe needed to be a little bit more to it. I think there needed to be a bit more meat. And like I feel like I would be more like, okay, it's a misunderstanding, but like Arthur was the one that cheated on Mara, so it's like, why are you angry? And then saying, well, I never loved you, or what, or you never loved me. It was really weird. Like I think that was really the only thing that I didn't like. I don't think they explained it well. I think if it was a little better written, and it's not the movie's fault because the comic book did it as well, but I feel like if it was just a better explained a little bit, I think I would have at least liked it more. So, but other than that, there's really no other negatives. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it to Dylan. What are your negatives?
My negatives, I really only have one, and really, it's not a negative, it's a nitpick. And when I actually look back at the whole story of the film, it's a pointless nitpick because the story was epic. I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the character developments for Barry, but um, the only negative I have is that the villain really had no motivation. Like honestly, I thought because they were just building up to it, I thought, and trust me, it doesn't ruin the film for me at all. But I thought that because they were building up to it, it was gonna be like this. Yeah, I'm the one who went back in time and killed your mother. Ah, ha 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 ha. And now that I haven't, blah blah blah, whatever, something stupid like that. No, the twist actually that he's just really there to be up our main character and tell him that he's the one that did all this, not him, was a great twist. I thought he was going to be more in the film. I thought he was going to be more of a villain. Really, he almost played no role. Granted, again, he didn't need to because the progression of this world between Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and then Cyborg, I felt like that took center stage a lot more, and I felt like it needed to. I really enjoyed that. So again, it's a nitpick. That's the only negative I could come up with is that I kind of feel like the villain should have been in the film more and should have been more of the villain, but it doesn't cause an issue because the film was great.
Alrighty. Nindroid, your negatives.
All right, so
Kavari, I completely disagree with you on that 100%.
all right, so I have two main negatives. All right, because it seems like we're going in spoilers and all that.
Oh no, it's completely spoiler filled. Like, trust me, all
Yeah.
these reviews are gonna be spoiler filled. Just
Okay.
let you know.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me that, Austin. Okay. Yeah. Let me just talk about. Yeah, it was shitty in the comics. It was bad in the comics. It was bad in here. Sorry that I said shitty.
No, you can say whatever the hell you want. It's my
I
channel. So.
know,
Yeah, it's not your.
but I'm just saying though. My apologies. But anyway, we got the Aquaman thing with Wonder Woman. How they started that whole war with just them sleeping with each other. Isn't that stupid? A little bit.
It's not stupid. It just wasn't done well.
No, I think it was a little bit stupid. But there was that. I do think the villain, what's his name? Whatchamacallit?
Yeah, Reverse Flash.
Yeah, Reverse Flash. He wasn't in it a whole lot. In which,
Hey, Deshaun.
I mean, I like Reverse Flash though, a whole lot. So I wish we got more of him, but I understand why they didn't put a lot of him in it. What else can I really say about it? Because the thing is, the majority of the film was good. I think that's really it, Austin. For
Now,
negatives.
do you want to go back to your positives now that you know that spoilers?
Yes.
Spoilers?
Yes.
All right, you go ahead.
Main positive. Here, wait, let me get my mic.
Actually, while you do that, what's up, LDG? What's up, Deshaun? What's up, everybody?
Thomas.
Fan. What I didn't understand from the movie is how Billy wasn't Captain Marvel / Shazam, but was a collection. That is a little weird to me, but I wasn't completely hating it though.
And Tara Strong's best work being see Kavari, I disagree. There's quite a few other things that I really.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a lot of good shows.
Yeah. Thomas Wayne as Batman. That is my biggest positive. Everyone knows I'm a huge Batman fan. Austin knows that we're both Batman fans. And let me tell you, Thomas Wayne, the whole thing with Bruce dying instead when Flash went back to save his mother. I mean, like, honestly, I just love all that. I love all the consequences that Flash gets in this movie. I love the grittiness of this movie. I love how dark it is. I love the ending as well. That's not like the most typical like happy ending as well. Like he's still like I love how the universe is created, and this is what the DCU should have been.
Yep, I 100% agree.
That's my main thing. If you wanted to introduce all your characters all at once, this is how you should have done it. And I loved seeing all the, like cameo, small appearances like Shazam, Cyborg, Lex helping out with the good guys, actually somewhat, and like there's a lot of good stuff in here. Shazam appearing, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. Overall, great, fantastic movie. If you are a DC fan, you should watch it.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm just gonna go through some of the chat real quick before we get into our final thoughts. Kavar's like, it's really not because Mera was the queen of Atlantis and Aquaman's wife. Yes, but at the same time, if that's the case, then why did Aquaman cheat on Mera? I just feel like that's really, I don't really care for that. Sean comes in. I did enjoy Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, the film, but the comic book, even though I like it, it was the reason why the New 52 was created. Am I one of? Wait, so I know not a lot of people like New 52, but honestly, looking back at it, it actually wasn't the worst thing.
No, it wasn't the worst thing, Austin. There were other worse stuff with storylines and all of that.
Lois Lane becoming a freedom fighter was also interesting. That is true.
Yeah, it was.
Very interesting. What kind of sucked was
I actually disagree with you on this one. I think the way that he died really worked for me in terms of the character for Green Lantern. Just a giant bomb.
Terra Strong fan, when you really think about it, there's a lot of cheating and fornication happening in comic book stories. It happens pretty often. Just think about Batman and Robin's girlfriend. We don't like to talk about that. That never happened. So guys, I
still have nightmares from that bullshit. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. All right, guys. Let's do our final grades and our final thoughts. I will go first. I'm gonna give this movie an A, and I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think this movie is close to perfect to me. I think it is my second favorite DC animated movie of all time. It's just so good. I like the time travel aspect. It was dark. I like that Thomas Wayne. I like the war aspect. I think everything together fit really well. You can look at this movie as both a standalone film, but it's also part of this universe because this is how the universe gets created. And yeah, that's really my final thoughts. It's just a really good movie. I know most people in the chat have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, go ahead and do so. It is a fantastic film. Dylan, let's go with you now. What is your final grade and your final thoughts?
My final grade for the film is just like Austin. It is an A, aka a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts for the film. I really enjoy Flash's character. I'm interested to see how the universe changes from here thanks to Flash. And I was really surprised by what they did with Batman's character in this film as well. Other than that, great movie. Really enjoyed it.
Hey, we got
It was
Tim
a
in here.
great
What up,
start
Tim?
to the next film. What is up, Tim?
Oh, Tim's on our left. What's up, Tim? Good to see you.
I was on his channel just a couple of hours ago, so you guys go check that out.
I have heard quite a bit about you, Tim. You seem like a chill dude.
Yes, I was on his channel earlier today. We were talking about Bad Batch Season 2. Pretty good stream. Kind of short, but I hope you guys do go enjoy that and subscribe to Tim as well. He's a buddy of mine. But yeah, great movie. Really glad to see it. Really good start to this I was gonna say franchise, but to this universe, and I can't wait to see what the next film has in store for us.
Good deal. Good deal. I like that. Nindroid, final grade and final thoughts.
Final grade. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 right now.
8.5. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I need to revisit the other ones, and this grade might go up. All right. It's been a while since I've seen these films. I mean, a while. You know, not even like a year. like Austin's, it's just been a year for me. It's been like, I don't know, for this one, like 3 years. So, honestly, like I gotta see all the other ones again in order to really rate this. But this is close to like, this is greatness. This is great. So my overall thoughts is, my predictions, I guess I could just say. I'm looking forward to the next one to watch for tomorrow. Um, I'm legit gonna put it on for background noise. So, I can't wait to take some notes and, have a great discussion about Justice League War tomorrow.
Alrighty, good stuff. Before I get Tim comes in. There's a lot of really good DC animated movies. That's where they beat Marvel. Yes.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that, because even the Marvel animated films, which were, I thought they were just okay at best. Like, they weren't bad, but they were just like, meh. Like,
I actually have to say they were pretty meh.
They were meh.
Besides Into the Spider-Verse, but that was by Sony, and that was a feature-length film, like, for theaters.
Whereas the movies I'm talking about are like the direct-to-home video ones.
Yeah.
Red Hood is probably the best. I think Under the Red Hood is my personal favorite.
I have to agree with that.
All right, Zach. Final grades and final thoughts.
My final thoughts. This is a fantastic start to the DC animated universe, which, spoiler alert, is my favorite DC storyline ever told. I prefer this to a lot of the live action films as far as trying to build a universe, build a continuity. This is my favorite DC universe. And as the starter, I'm giving it an A- and a 9.7 out of 10.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Like that a lot. All right, so I think it's A's pretty much across the board. I think except for Ninjoid, which is more like a B+.
Yep.
Yes.
So overall, good grades. I think that it's a good start to this entire universe. Sean comes in. He says some of Marvel's animation movies are mid as fuck. That's putting it lightly, to Sean. That's putting it very lightly. Tara Strong fan comes in. Who would win at being an insane and talkative, Joker or Deadpool? The more crazier aspect, I'd say Joker. But if we're talking about like breaking fourth wall level crazy, I think Deadpool. So I think it just really comes to both, like if they're a tie, because Deadpool's more talkative, whereas Joker's more insane. And we got Tim in the house. What's up, Tim? It's been a while. This is a good A for me. I have the whole collection. Dude, these movies are freaking like, at least from what I remember, these movies are for the most part awesome. So, lots of great stuff. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Right. So we have gone. Let's see here. Now I got to get through the entire chat. This is where Reverse Flash literally has a bull in his head, but he's moving so fast. We'll get into that. They really went down a dark path. Yeah. So, we'll get into that when we get to another movie later down the road. Dylan hasn't seen these movies before, so I'm just gonna wait until we get to that, and then we'll talk about it when we get to that certain movie. But guys, we are at 53 minutes. The review is done. It's perfect timing. We are going to go around the panel one more time, let everybody tell themselves where they can find themselves at. Just to let everybody know, we will be here tomorrow talking about Justice League War, which that's going to be interesting. So with that being said, we are going to go around the panel, tell everybody where they can find themselves at. Again, we'll start with Zach this time around. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on my channel, Zach Gaxiola, where I will be going live starting on January the 14th for my reviews of all 5 Scream movies to date, leading to the release of Scream 6 in March. I hope to be joined by Austin, and by Dylan if I'm able to get him into these movies. So it'll be a fun time. Because Scream
We're
next
gonna try.
because Scream next to Halloween is my second favorite horror franchise of all time. So I am really excited for Scream 6. So it was really convenient to be able to time this the way I did. So get hyped.
Alrighty, good shit, good shit. Ninjoid, where can they find you at?
All right, you guys can personally find me on my own YouTube channel, Star Wars Network. We're over there. We have Galactic Chat coming up, which Galactic Chat is going to be great and awesome. Trust me, everyone. We have assembled the best group of Star Wars fans that there is over there to discuss about right now the Bad Batch, which let me tell you is very slow right now, but hopefully we'll pick up. And also, we are going to be doing some daily videos, daily reviews, some reviews on action figures, on collectibles, and more. I will be starting to do video essays again eventually. And also, guys, I'm always on the roundtable for the Bad Batch at Chaos Central. Sometimes on the Hangout on Guy Scar's channel when I can be. And guys, this is just a very busy time, so I want everyone to please subscribe to my buddy Austin, Dylan, also known as Anime Talk, and also Zach. Thank you, Austin, for having me on.
No problem. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Yep.
Dylan, where can they find you at?
You guys can not only find me on my old channel, Dylan Still Hobbies, which I'll have an update video about what's going on with that channel next week. You guys should check out that channel because that's where me and Austin have reviewed the one-off films for DC. And like I said, there are a couple more one-off DC films that I would like to review with Austin at some point. So definitely check out the update video when that comes out. Also on January 24th on Tuesday, I will be doing my first anime podcast on Anime Talk, and it's basically just gonna be me gathering a couple of my friends and talking anime. If you're into anime and you want to join us, please click subscribe. And thank you for having me on Austin Air. You can also find me on Ninjoid's channel, Zach's channel, the Austin Air channel, my buddy Tim's channel that's in the chat. I'm just about everywhere these days.
Indeed, indeed. You can find me on this channel that you're watching right now, where I'm doing the DC animated movie reviews, which again, like I said, we'll be doing the Justice League War review tomorrow, at 10:15. Then I'm going to be and then on Wednesday, excuse me, Wednesday we're going to be doing the Son of Batman review, and then Saturday will be Throne of Atlantis. And then moving forward, the reviews are going to be on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so go and check them out when they come out. You can find me on Ninjoid's Star Wars Network channel for Galactic Chat. You can find me on Dylan's channel, Zach's channel for the Scream reviews and other stuff. You can find me on the Hangouts on Wednesday, the Bad Batch Roundtable on Sundays, really everywhere. Just follow me on Twitter. Just, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank Kavari, Tim, Tara Strong Fan, Deshaun. I said Kavari, Tim, Deshaun, Tara Strong Fan. We had LDG in the house.
Tim and Tim.
Hey, yeah, Tim and Tim. Son of Dawn of Atlantis is the only one LDG wouldn't let me play. Interesting. That's very interesting. Anyway, though, guys, we are wrapping this up. So thank everybody in the chat. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Austinator and crew signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Now let me get my outro.
And